Bateau! Hey! Hello! Can you hear and see? Hi, Jinx! Yes and yes. Oh my god, she's been nudging me all evening. Like she did with the phone. That was so cute. Pay attention to me, please. That was really cute. Yeah, really, really. It's so cute. Like she's like pawing the phone and then she sits back down and stares at you. Aww. She's so sweet. Hey, Paolo. Hello. She actually did that twice. The video cut the second half. Aww. What did she just want you to stare back at her? Sorry, I have no idea. She's very hard to decode. I mean, the cats here are almost 13 and there's still stuff that I'm like decoding right now. So yeah, cats can take a while. So how are you guys today? I am really pooped. It's fine. I need your advice on cat, more like cat ethics. Ethics? Ethics. I was just browsing the Getty Open collection for images. For what project? Nothing much, to be honest, just wanted some nice computer backgrounds. I hope it's not full of AI in there. But yeah, and I also hope you find something to your liking. So the owners are feeding her really awful cheap food. Why? I'm wondering about buying her some better food to eat while she's here, but not tell the owners because they will be upset. Oh, by all means, please do it. Do you know if she likes the better food? Because, you know, sometimes cats will be really, really picky and only enjoy like weird, crappy food. If you can get like a... It's more difficult with kibble. Like with wet food, you can buy like a little can or one package, you know, just to try it out. But they don't often have sample size of kibble. Maybe some pet stores would. Like you could maybe ask them, like, hey, do you have some sample size so that I can, you know, try this out with my cat. Kibble seems to be okay. Oh, it's the wet food. Oh, then that's easy to try. You can just buy like a open stock. It's it's a bit like paint. You have the open stock portions of food. Hey, Cyan, hi! As someone who has never had cats, I was so surprised how picky many of them are. Well, it's a spectrum, right? So some of them will be super duper picky, and some of them will eat just about anything. Yeah, I don't mind trying in the class. I'm just on this. Oh, I would say do it and don't tell them. Just give them salmon. I think it's something that works in the wild because the cats, you know, they will pilfer some fish and eat the whole thing. But for modern day equivalency, it's like if you give a cat like store-bought meat, even if you cook it, it's gonna be lacking on some nutrients. Cats, they need taurine to help with their eyesight, and you don't find that naturally in regular meat. Hey, Ellen! Hello! I know a lot of people like try to give their pets like raw food or whatever, but it's a bit tricky for cats because they're obligatory carnivore. So if you see anyone trying to feed their cat a vegan diet, I feel so sorry for that cat. But also they need a few extra things in there. That's why most cat food have taurine and ashes included in the mix. And it's not a way to cut corners, it's because there's some nutrient in there that they can only get this way. Hey, Mikey, hello. Hi, everyone. Pimple time. Oh, cats don't need the the extra energy, but I think they process taurine differently. And I mean, it's not a large amount of it, but they still need they still need it consistently in their diets. Also, dogs can eat other stuff, not only other stuff, but they can have a slightly broader diet and be fine with it. So perhaps that this way there are nutrients that they get from outside of the meat aspect of it. My formerly feral boy is particular about his food. He's gotta have something with crunch. But he spent 4 years eating mice and human garbage. And now he's like, I'll have kibble, thanks. Oh yeah. I can seriously leave butter out on the table? Oh wow. Wow. I couldn't do that. Well, I mean, if I did that, I would come home to no butter and 2 sick cats. Like Scout especially is really, really focused on fatty stuff. She has no interest in chicken meat, but she really pesters me for licking the chicken fat off my fingers. She also goes completely batshit for mayo. But yeah, Otto, I would absolutely give her, like, try different wet foods with her and see if there's something a bit more healthy that you can give her. I know I've ranted about this before, but I get so annoyed with cat foods in general because, especially the dry food, they put such random freaking stuff in there, like blueberry powder and like herbs and cranberry and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, blueberry. Yeah, my cat likes blueberry. Ugh. I've been trying to learn more about cat diets since mother-in-law's cats is causing me so horrible allergies, and I think it is partly because the terrible diet of the cat. Oh no, poor baby. Only thing we've managed to tempt him with is a couple of cat-friendly flavors of Greek yogurt. Just little bits on a spoon or the remains. That's so sweet. Hey, Licia! Licia? Hi! I just hate giving cats awful cheap food. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it though. I do have the tub of Dreamies or Temptations that I only give to the outdoorsy cat because I know they run around and they kind of burn it off. So otherwise, my cats, it's a bit tricky because Scout has food sensitivities, like specific food items will really give her a hard time. So their kibble is for a sensitive stomach and it's made from lamb. Used to be made from mackerel, herring, like a fish. And I was like, it stinks, it's perfect, it's made from a fish. I feel like we're not like being too ambitious about the provenance of that meat specifically, but then they stopped producing the fish version one and only have the lamb one. And I mean, I feel kind of bad because I'm like, really? You're raising lambs to turn them into cat food. It bothers me. For the wet food, one of the can is fish and the other can is also fish. We switch. One of them is like a pate that's made like with the extra nutrients and stuff, and the other one is basically just like canned tuna and pumpkin. You really like that one. However, I found a kibble made in Elmira, Ontario. They tried to source their ingredients from within 100 kilometers of the plant. Ooh! Oreo's taking to it nicely, but I still have to mix in old Purina Cacao. The brand is called Go, and you can smell such a difference between the cacao and the better quality stuff. This coat is amazing now, slick as a seal, soft as a... Oh. I'll have to take a look at it. Maybe I can find it in Quebec, but like I said, it's a bit tricky to switch cat food for a couple of reasons. For me, it's because the Scout has food issues. So if it's only chicken based, or if it has chicken in it, I can't really give her that. And also, maybe that's also good to mention for Otto, but if you plan to completely switch a cat's food, it's best to introduce it gradually. So if it's kibble, you start by mixing the old kibble with the new kibble, and you have that for a couple of days, and then you slowly, progressively make the ratio more new kibble and less old kibble until the cat has transitioned to the new kibble, because their stomach is a bit sensitive, and if you mess around with their diet too much, they might have like some digestive issues. So if you keep giving her the regular kibble, I think that's a good basis, and then to like try the different wet food, perhaps like in smaller portions at first, and if she likes it, to give her a bit more. But yeah, if she has some smelly farts or stuff like that, that could just be that. You might be able to have different variety. One is definitely poultry free. salmon based, I think. Oreo like his poultry. He's chicken, turkey, duck. He's into. Oh, Pickle would love that. Pickle really, 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 really likes chicken. Like, really, really. I think Scout has associated chicken with being sick. So she is not a big fan of it. Sometimes when I cook a whole chicken and I give them a teeny tiny shred, Scott will not eat her shred of chicken. She will lick my fingers though. So cat class. The cat has been nudging and headbutting my arm a lot this evening. Any idea what she wants? I'm trying to figure it out. If it's not strokes, it's not food. Okay, just a couple of random ideas, but if she enjoys to be brushed, maybe she will like a brushing. But also, I think when cats sort of nudge you and rub their face on you, it's their way of marking you as family. So perhaps she's just being very loving. And she's like, you're my family. She doesn't have a brush. Aw. Do you have an old hairbrush that you don't use? That could always be a good one. The brush that Pico likes the most is an old boar bristle hairbrush. I was amazed at how much more the goat kibble smells like actual meat. The cat chow literally smells like cornmeal to me now. Yeah, the cheap cat food smells like you can kind of get the feeling in the smell that it's the same as smelling McDonald's. I've only got one hairbrush. Oops. Well, I mean, if you happen by a dollar store, you can probably pick something there that will work. And yeah, same with the even the food. Like we don't give the cats here. We give them fancy-ish food, but the can that's only tuna and pumpkin. Like it smells like something I could eat if I was in a pickle. It wouldn't be the tastiest meal, but it smells like tuna, like a kind of tuna and pumpkin. So fair enough. But the other cat food, the kibble is stinky, and they're fish based, so fish tends to be a bit more stinky in my opinion. But yeah, the pate one is oof, ugh. Though I gotta say, the absolute worst is the treats we get them. It's called bursts. They're a bit like Temptations or Dreamies, but a little bit less trash. But they're only fish, and they smell like the bottom of a fish sauce bottle. It's disgusting. But they really like it, so we always go, okay, 3, 2, 1, hold your breath. Open the bin of treats, give them the treats, close the bin of treats, walk away. Okay, you can breathe. Ugh. Because it's just so bad. It really smells like fish sauce. I have an icky groomer for Oreo. It's basically a dull-down enameled hacksaw blade stuck into a wooden handle. Isn't that a thing for horses? I've had a better de-shedding tool. Oreo's a love affair going on with it. Rika ate horrible. Yeah, Royal Canna is disgusting. I don't know why that and Hills. Hills is, in my opinion, the absolute worst pet food ever. It's just gnarly, and even food-driven like pets I've seen, they've all snubbed it because it's gross. And then yeah, Royal Canin hasn't been a big success. Hey SC, hi. Long time to see. I bought some of the chicken bursts for Oreo. You went nuts for them. I hope they smell better than the fish one. The fish one have a name like a seafood party, whatever. Like, and oh, they smell They smell so bad. It's really funny because when we introduce those, since they are like chicken free, poultry free, um, they would get like tuna temptations before. And even the tuna temptations are full of chicken. So we switched them to the bursts one, and they snubbed them at first. They were like, sniff, sniff, sniff. No, it's not my usual treat. I don't want it. But as soon as they picked up that they were not gonna get any of the old treats again, they suddenly decided that the bursts were actually quite good. So that really cracked me up. Works on dogs, cats, and horses. Girl with the dogs are on YouTube uses them and they work so well. Yeah, they smell okay, not terrible. Sort of like a roasted chicken. Yeah, it really beats the fish sauce smell. Oh, Pico would love those. Although, have you tried giving Jinx, the tubes of meat puree, like the churros? Yeah, the I think we must have about 15 different brushes for the cats, and they like the ones that work the least. The one that did a really good job was the Furminator, but I feel like it kind of pulls on their fur a bit and they don't like it. We've tried a bunch of other brushes that wouldn't pick up hair. My cats have apparently some sort of strange, really, really fine hair, so it's difficult to find a brush that works well with them. The cats I had as a kid, any kind of like basic nylon bristle brush would work with them, no issues. But my current cats, it's very difficult to brush them. They really don't like it. They're such princesses. Ooh, no, I haven't. I've so far been good and not given her anything her owner haven't brought along with her. I mean, from what you've told me, if you had to stick to not giving her things that were not brought along, she wouldn't get much, poor baby. She would have no litter, uh, a blankie half the time. Um, yeah, Ario won't go for those. I was in shock. However, I'm making friends with the feral cat that lives in the greenhouse. Love the high school where I work. She's all about them. Oh, that's lovely. I love that. Oh, that feral cat must have a great time if she lives in the greenhouse. She must be able to get all the um, all the little rodents that would eat stuff in the greenhouse. That's a good place for a feral cat. That's why I like the eggy wormer. It doesn't pull from the root of the hair, pull the loose hair. I think I have one that's similar. It the way you described it, it kind of looks like what I have. Mine is metal and has a plastic handle. And we've tried it, but they just don't like it. You try to brush them and they kind of like keep getting lower and kind of try to slink away from the brush. Sounds a lot like bunny hair. I've never found good. Yeah, it's similar. It's similar, especially Scout. They do bring litter. Well, at least. At the very fudging least. Oh. But how come she has no brush? That's so weird. And what, she has like one toy, you told me? She's such a good baby. She should have all the good things. Her name is Fern. Oh, that's adorable. What color cat is she? I'm not asking that because I might draw a cat in a greenhouse at some point. She's not hurting for food. My goal is to be able to handle it. Oh, I hope so. Though you should be able to get there if you keep on bringing churu and, snacks and treats. That's how I managed to become friendly with the cats. I mean, they're all a bit suspicious at first. Then you talk to them, you leave them some kibble, some snacks to grab. And you come back and you talk to them again, and very quickly they associate you and the junk food, so. It was their brother and sister-in-law that didn't bring any litter for 3 weeks there. With Ding. Aw. Poor Ding. Yeah, and they were surprised that I needed more litter for the kid. Yeah, that's that would be a good idea, SC. Or at least tell me what I can call you. I don't want to be using that if it's your dead name. She's all black and has greenish yellow eyes. The tip of her right ear has been snipped a bit because she's been trapped, vaxxed, spayed, and released. Oh yeah, that's the snip of the win. I love saying that. That snip makes me so happy. There's a cat here that I really, really love. And he's getting to be friendlier. I nickname him Fanta because he's this big floofy cat, and I really like the Fanta drink, and Fanta is generally like orange. So I was like, yeah, that his nickname is gonna be Fanta. And at first I thought he was a feral cat because he wasn't really friendly, and he didn't have any kind of ear tip or necklace, and also he's the one that pees in the window to mark his territory. So I was like, this cat is definitely not snipped. I'm sure I've told you about Fanta. I must have shown you pictures. Big floofy orange cat. Maybe I didn't mention that we've nicknamed him Fanta because that's a bit recent, but I'm sure I've told you about Fanta. No way I wouldn't have. No way I would not have told you about him. And yeah, now lately at some point Fanta was showing up with a limp. Like he wouldn't put any weight on one of his front paws, and I was getting super worried, and I was like, oh no. But then I saw him with a collar on, like a very blingy collar with, it even has a little light on that switches color. Like goes from blue to green to red. And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe someone takes care of him. But like, can you please get him fixed? Please. Or maybe her, but I think it's a boy cat. It's so fluffy, it's impossible to tell. And I really hope they get him snipped. Because first of all, we don't need an intact male cat in the neighborhood. I don't think there's any intact females, but the males are just so more like they fight a lot more, they wander further away, they're so territorial when they're not snipped. And also I would really like it if you could stop peeing in the windows, because that's gross. My uncle, bless him, just couldn't look after Oreo at the end, despite him absolutely wanting. Aww. He came to us reeking of ammonia from the house. I had to use no rinse shampoo. Yeah. But I mean, at least he was. At some point, the cat was rehomed. That's, the best outcome is the one we want. Hey, Megan. I will show you Fanta. I'm pretty sure I've shown him to you, Otto, but I have pictures on my phone, but my phone is the camera right now. But I will send you some. Now Oreo has me trying to scoop the litter before he will use it again. I love him. Fanta is like the most floofiest orange cat. And he was so angry at initially. Like, he had real food aggression. Like, really, really angry. I couldn't pet him. I couldn't get near him. If he was eating and I would like bring my hand near, I would really get mad. Now he's a bit better. If it's before I give him food, I can pet him and he's really happy to be pet. He does the elevator butt and all that. Once he has food, he's not so keen on being pet. Like, literally, he will use the box, and if I haven't scooped yet, he will sit by it and give me the side. I was skipping shows. Oh, poor guy. Maybe he's a bit traumatized from his previous situation. Cats, they tend to be more on the, you know, I like to be clean side rather than I can tolerate some mess. Like, they're tidy creatures. I need a cat distribution system to give me a ginger cat. Definitely. Oh no, Otto. She will poop just next to the litter. No! Please don't. Oh. I mean, at least the cat poop is usually very easy to clean. Oh, that's okay, Mikey. Don't worry about it. It's not... I don't think that's particularly sensitive information, but we can delete it if you'd rather. It's just very tidy clean, even for a cat. Never met a cat who loves to be brushed so much. That's really sweet. I have observed up to 3 male cats that patrol the neighborhood. Sometimes Iska, my cat, meows at the window. She's... she alerts you. There's a boy! Iska meowing at the boys. My cats do that too, but it's always sounds more like a... since we react when we see the cats in the windows, I think the cats have picked up that when they see a cat in the windows too, they should react. So they go meow and we look and it's either Chaz or Shiro or mainly these two. We have a fluffy brown tabby too that I don't know the name, so he's been nicknamed Fluffy Tabby and Fanta. Oh, oh, poor Oreo. They really get bothered when they have like accidents pertaining to not being tidy. It really bothers them. They're like, oh no, I made a mess. I don't have thumbs. I can't clean it. But I think someone shoved them in a closet at one point. His foster home had 2 young girls. Ooh! And he would dash out of the room when we opened. Oh no, poor baby. Is this an exterior story? It's exterior. It's a bunch of rocks and plants and yeah. Well, it's mostly a sketch for now. I'm slowly piecing it together. I made an initial like thumbnail, but as with any thumbnail, it's incredibly messy. So trying to blow it out and make it make sense is always a bit tricky. Slowly just inch, just always the fast way. I mean, in general, cats, they really prefer like a calm approach to everything. They need to be able to make the association between things at their own pace. So from what I know about it, it's exhausting. Yeah. I love eating moss. Is moss edible? It's such a fun plant. I really like moss. It kind of grows well on the yard here, but it's also kind of a very fragile thing, and and well, most people don't really care, so I often have to like put back pieces of moss that have been kicked up by other people, and I try to put them back on because otherwise the terrain is really bare. Like grass doesn't grow anyway. Grass is a stupid plant, but it doesn't grow well. And I've tried to sow like clover and other things, but it's not exactly my yard. I've been doing this just a tiny bit guerrilla style. But yeah, I really like all the moss, and I feel like it's one of my favorite plants. It's so fascinating. Yeah, I'm really glad I had experience with horses growing up. There are dangerous consequences if you try to go too fast with them on anything. It's been a good way to look at dealing with our. Yeah, I mean, there's a really obvious, visible difference if you compare a cat to a horse right away. Moss is a good addition to potted plants. Helps retain. Yeah, and it's really cute, especially when it like grows and blooms. It's so pretty. My lawn. Hey, Salome, hi. My lawn has turned into a moss sponge. Yes, but it's pretty. I would love to have a super nice spongy moss yard, but with all the foot traffic on it, it wouldn't really thrive. Would die. I can report though that the chives that I've sort of guerrilla planted are starting growing back again, and I'm like, oh yeah. I'm waiting to see if the mint plant that I've put out there in a similar way is gonna, make a comeback. take the moss. Feels good when walking on. Yeah, if you can like have the luxury of walking on a luxurious, soft moss bed barefoot. Oh, it's like delicately as to not mess it up, but oh my gosh, it's the most like fun experience. Hey Paulo, thank you so much for stopping by. Um I hope you have fun preparing dinner. It's always appreciated when you share pictures of what you've prepared because you always prepare food so carefully. So, yeah, I hope you have a fun time preparing this one. I have not much grass left after dogs running in the backyard. Have you considered just planting something that is not grass out of curiosity? Because there are so many good plants that, you know, don't grow really tall and they make a beautiful, like, green bed, but that is not grass. It's waterlogged, it's not a pretty Japanese rock garden. I love willows. Yeah, that's a really pretty tree. I love when I think it's gonna be the time soon, but for the what's it called? You know, when the trees have the fluffy green buds. I love those. I really, really love those. I don't get to see it often. I don't think there's a lot of tree in this area that have it. But oh, every time I catch these, I'm like ecstatic. Yes and no, there are body language cues, and cats have more of a flight response than most people realize. It's all about approaching with calm, assured energy and showing them the right answer. Yeah. Excellent, be right over. I discovered moss in the courtyard garden at the school yesterday while we were cleaning it up. It felt so nice to. Yeah, that's a good. Spring is a good time for moss because there's a lot of water, so it often flourishes in spring, and then as it gets a bit like hotter and drier, it becomes a bit more thin and patchy. But oh man, I love moss. Creeping wild thyme is lovely. Yeah, and it smells really good, I think. And it's like, you know, a tiny thing. It's not you don't have to mow the lawn if you have creeping or wild thyme. I really like it. And now a lot of places that have seeds, they sell these mixes of lawn care plants. Like you will get a pack of clover, wild thyme, oh my god, I don't remember the names of it, but there's a few, like there's a thing that looks like grass but isn't grass, and it's a lot sturdier and it's a lot less vulnerable to specific bugs, and it's basically this selection of a bunch of plants that won't grow too tall and will look beautiful and will attract bees, and I'm all over that. I love that so much. Dream goal, Moss Lichen Forest Yard. Ooh. Yeah, I think it's pussy willows, right? We call those, no, the fluffy gray buds. They're called chaton in French, which is basically kitten, I think. I think other plants hold even less than grass. No, grass is terrible. Clover, I think clover holds really well because you can see it outside. Whenever it gets really hot and dry, all the grass is baked. Like it's dead, it's yellow, it's crunchy, and the only patches of green that are left is the clover. And I think that's because their root goes deeper down, so they still have a bit of a moisture access, whereas the grass is completely baked. Like dead as dead can be. Like you walk on it and it's literally crunchy. It's so bad. Found out we may have to get rid of the ponds. We're getting no. Yeah, mosquitoes are no fun. I have to be right back. Hold on. Wait, look, I made this little thingamajig. Yay! I'm on laundry duty today, so just waiting for the next machine to beep in like a minute. I would go ham with the decorative stonework. I was hoping to sow wildflower seeds in the garden, but I have been stuck down. Oh no! I mean, yeah, but you'll be able to, like, there's gonna be a window for a different type of plant later on, I'm pretty sure. So to have our lawn does have the upside of very, very green this summer. But they don't bother me that much unless there is so much I can breathe without. Mosquitoes, yes, we have way too much of them. Ugh. I mean, they don't bite you? Right, be right back again. Back and back and back. They're very tasty too. What's this? Well, they do bite, but I'm used to it. I used to live in Lapland for 18 years, and there is seriously a lot of mosquitoes. You need more natural prey to the mosquitoes, like bats and birds, I guess. And I spelled my own name wrong. I have to wait 48 hours. Oh no! Oh no. Oh. All right. Thank you so much, Moo Moo. Oh yeah, shout out to... Sure. Hey everybody, look, it's Moo Moo. Of course. Hey, enjoy dinner, Salome. Thank you so much for stopping by. No, I wonder if Moo Moo is still there. Oh, apparently so. Nice. Oh no, they're skipping a step in my dream. My adventuring cats are not afraid. And besides, I think I'm gonna make the staircase all broken up down here. Ev, do you like Snoopy? Yes, I do. I'm not like the #1 Snoopy fan, but I really like Snoopy, and it's something that I also associate with my dad. So it's a good association. I was working on making a kind of PDF book about the first adventure cat. And I had scanned a bunch of my paintings, but I was like cleaning up the scans and I noticed that a lot of them are kind of crummy. Like I've flattened most of the paintings, if not all of them. And even the ones that I have not flattened, they're still quite flat. But when I scan them, there are areas that are a bit blurry. So I need to try scanning them again, but in a different way. Because Liberty Japan has launched Snoopy. Ooh, I definitely want to see those. What has been your go-to sketching drafting pencil? I really don't have any. I switch around a lot. In general, I quite enjoy these Oren's pencils because they protect the lead better, so it breaks less. But aside from that, I'll use anything. I've used a Blackwing pencil, I've used any kind of... name it. I'm really not picky. It's more of a... like I have a stash and I will look through it to find something that vibes with me right at that moment. Like my thumbnail sketchbook is ink only. And I had another sketchbook that was just like a black wing pencil mostly, and it switches. It's easier to name the pencils that don't vibe with me than the ones that I'm okay with. So one thing that I forget the most is to add the tails. Sometimes my cat drawings, they don't have any tails, and I'm like, oops. Oh well. Sorry. At first, I really love my Fude pen, but then I found the pen itself was too short to comfortably grip, so I took a glue stick and stuck it to the end to extend it. And now it's my favorite pen ever. My mom and son are... Oh, have a fun visit, Mikey. Thank you so much for stopping by. I have a one of my sketchbook is a ink study. I have a bajillion sketchbook all at once. I think I've shown it last week. Yeah, I did show it last week, and I've used I have a Fude. I'm rolling it up. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So I'm forgetting my tea. Come back. It's almost still too hot because it's in one of those double-walled metal mug thingies. It's really hot. But yeah, I think you got the short Moonman Fude one, right? These silver ones are really quite good too. I've used that one in this book for these studies, and I really like it because I was a bit miffed at first because I was like, oh, the only cartridges I have for sailor pens are not waterproof. But I really like it actually. You can see some shading in the ink and the sketches, and I think it works out quite in an interesting way. So I really like Fude for sketching, and also have a parallel pen for sketching. And cartridge paper, the best paper for ink work, if you don't need to put water on top. I've used back wings and Pentel Graph Gear 1000 set. Ooh. Yeah, those seem indestructible. I really like my rotating mechanical pencil, all metal body and a neural grip. Yeah, the pen I got is refillable, which can be interesting if I use watercolor. You have to be careful if you use watercolor, because if you use pigmented watercolor, it might clog up your pen. So for that specific thing, you're maybe better off looking for fountain pen ink or dye ink, which is not light fast, but doesn't have particles in it. So it wouldn't clog up your pen. I mean, a clogged up pen is not the end of the world if there's a way to dismantle the pen to clean it. But still, it can be really annoying. Brush pen. Yeah, these are sadly not, these are disposable, but they're also waterproof, and I really like it. So far, it's the only brush pen I've found that is also really easy to use for small details and for broader strokes. Like the OG brush pen is the Pentel one, but I find it a bit more difficult to control the tip, so I combine. But I really like these. There's always cat hair stuck in it, though. Though to be fair, I think there would be cat hair stuck in anything I use. So what are you guys up to for this weekend? Any plans? Anything special? Rest and relaxation, which is much needed in these times of intense stress. Yeah. Well, I hope you get to do some gardening. What are your gardening plans for this summer? Are you guys growing like veggies and fruits and stuff? Or mostly just, pretty plants? Laundry, and I managed to do the initial sketches for a couple duck portraits. Oh, that's lovely! I'm doing laundry too. Yay! I like doing a portrait after friends' pets. Aw. Yeah, that's difficult, really. Also tricky to give because, like, the person's gonna be happy, but also gonna be quite sad, because that's the state of things at this point. I get to apply for a new teaching job. Ooh, I hope that goes well. Went for a walk and brunch today. Ooh, what did you get? Food. Let's talk about food. Currently have a yellow lab, a chocolate lab cross, and a husky on the go. Oh, wow. Yes, I want to get started on my peppers and tomatoes in our grow box. Pick up some strawberries. Oh, yeah. Strawberries are really hard to keep, in the sense that every like urban critter out there wants to eat them, whether it's the squirrels or the birds or I usually wait at least 6 months. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a fair like amount of time. It's the kind of grief that never really goes away, but time makes it less fresh, so the crows keep digging up my tulips. No. Ah, crows are so clever though. What if you what if you give them food like further away from the tulips? Would they leave the tulips alone, or would they just eat all of it? I have been reminded to ask you guys about the flurkins eating people, as in the what? I'm sorry? The town I'm in right now is desperate for teachers, and I'm a TA for the local college. Oh, that's lovely. Fingers crossed. The rabbits have a love affair with my raspberry canes. Raspberry canes? Is that what you call a raspberry? I thought it was a bush. Thankfully, they are prolific enough to survive. It's because Yo put peanuts in the tulip bed and now they keep digging it up, and I was, oh no! No, they're too clevers. Clevers. They're too clever. Crows are way too clever. They're like, hey, this is the secret spot for the peanuts. It's from the Marvels. I haven't watched that. Oh, that's fine. Thank you so much, Chris. Good luck. Best of luck. Peanuts. Crows are a super smart bird. Yeah, I love them so much. They're my favorite. I don't see them enough, and I'm always bummed because I'm like, aw, I want to see more of your clever bird shenanigans. Okay, so you know the alien cat that is like tentacle one. Maybe? I think you're a whole lot more up to date on your MCU stuff than I am. I can't remember the last Marvel movie I saw. I think the last Marvel thing I tried to watch was the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. There are bush in the same way a rose can be one. Raspberries and roses are closely related. Yeah, the stabbies. But you can trim them down hard and they'll come back. Ooh. The favorite detail to add is what kind of plants are growing in the crevices of the... It is fun, but I can't... Like, my brain shorts at the minutiae of it, so it often ends up being like scribbles or blobs or texture. Florkins. I haven't seen the Marvel, but I've seen this scene. The Flurkin is in Captain Marvel. Goose the cat is the Flurkin. He's a tentacle monster living inside a compressed universe in a cat-like creature. I'm I'm reminded of a Men in Black a bit. But okay, sure. Well, the Flur's for scribs, blobs, and textures. Yep, pretty much. How is my... Why is my brush pen so juicy? This is my older one. I hope that it's just a wee bit less juicy, because too juicy can be... it's great for filling in textures and dry brushing, but it's not necessarily what I want for scribbles. Ah, fudge. Hold on. Alright, sorry. Okay, so in the Marvels, there need to evacuate hundreds of people off a spaceship. I think it's a spaceship. And Nick Fury says it's easier to hurt a family of cats than hundreds of people. So the entire escape plan is to make people be eaten. Even though Nick Fury last night. What? Goose is the reason that Nick Fury it's the line. The last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye in the Avengers is way funnier than me. I feel like whoever came up with the idea of a flurkin is definitely one of us. forgot to mention the compression. I feel like the most recent Marvel movies are they have this feeling of a bunch of pieced together bits of the. I mean, I say that and I haven't watched like really any of it, but like I stopped watching because I felt like the stories were the sum total of all the versions and all the iterations, and they kept bits and pieces of each one, but the final thing is not that cohesive or like makes sense, I feel. To be honest, I haven't watched anything after Loki and Hawkeye. Ever since Tony died, my heart hasn't been in it. Oh. Well, I'm not a Loki. I'm not a Loki. Nonsense. I'm not a Tony fan. But my heart hasn't been in it ever since they did what they did to Steve Rogers. And I was like, what is it? Nope. Just nope. If you were looking for something really out of character for him to do, well, you found it. Good job. No, I think the last one we saw was Love and Thunder. And it really wasn't that good. This is the fundamental problem with comics too. When things in the universe get too unwieldy, they reboot the comic. Harder to do with movies and living actors. Yeah, definitely. And also, it gets really confusing at some point. Christian Bale at least brought his game. Oh yeah. He absolutely like killed it. It had good elements, but coming from Ragnarok, whoa. Hey Lena, hi. Time switch and Mrs. Oh yeah, it's still not really fully recovered. Though I do wish we could keep this one and not switch again in 6 months. Fun fact is, in the 616 comics universe, Doctor Strange is the only character who hasn't been canonically rebooted, so he remembers all the reboots of the universe, but just like keeps quiet about it. Poor guy. I wouldn't want to have to, keep that in my head. He was also still canonically born in the late 30s. Late 30s. Oh, he was good in Ragnarok. Oh, Ragnarok has had such great moments. The whole having Loki fall for 30-minute bit was amazing. Zipping Thor all over the place. I need a new lightbox pad for tracing out sketches. Anyone have any suggestions? I think most of them are actually quite good because I don't think the tech is really that complex, but I also think they oversell these a lot. So I know that the one I have from a long time ago works well. I got a tiny one from Temu and it's serviceable as well, though I would not recommend purchasing on Temu. That's because they've had some credit card issues too, so that's a bit dodgy. But I do think that any you can find at an affordable price on Amazon, if it has decent reviews, it should do quite well. They're really fun. They're lightweight. They're quite handy. If you are purchasing one, just pay attention to where the cable goes in and where the switch is, because you don't want to have one where you're stuck drawing with your hand going over the on button a lot. Sorry. It's often a touch button, so if you go over it while tracing, it's gonna either like switch it up or switch it off. So I know that since I'm right-handed, and I think mine, the button is on the right side and the cable too, so I often like flip it 180 degree, like rotate it around so that the button and the cable are on the other side. And it has a sufficiently long cable that I can do that. I've used it portrait style too, with the button and the cable at the top. And also pay attention if it's a USB one or if it has a plug that you can use AC current, whatever, like you can plug it in the wall or something. A lot of them will be USB only, and that's not, you know, the most convenient. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Like, I can grab my teeny tiny one because it's nearby. So that's the really tiny one that when I did the collab from Temu, I could pick this up from the items they had available, and I did. And it's really nothing fancy. It's not great in terms of the light surface on its own, but when you put a piece of paper on top, because it has like a texture, I don't know if I can show it. So I would say light sensitive people, just look away for a second, okay? Because I don't know how this will come up. And I don't want it to be like strawberry or something. So look away, look away. This one, what I think is great is I've used it to roughly transfer sketches for doing color comp studies. When I do, like, I want to paint a thing, I don't know what color to use, so I print a small version of my drawing. I transfer it using these because this is so thin that I can like put it into 2 sheets of sketchbook, like thinner paper, and trace it, and it's really tiny and it's all that. So okay, so I don't know if you guys will be able to see the kind of texture it has, like it has dots. I don't know if you can see. I hope you can. So it doesn't look that bright just like that, but when you put a piece of like mostly printer paper on top, you don't see the texture anymore. But yeah, this one is USB only, and I mean, I almost considered like donating it, but then I was like, oh well, I think I might use it. And yeah, it's been useful, but if I didn't have it, I'd figure out something else, you know, it's not a must-have thing. The dots are gone. The shiny, weird light thing are gone. Just so people know. But yeah, I've been using, yeah, you guys remember from last stream, this book that I mentioned, I used my color test in it. So this is what I printed out. It's basically just a photo or scan of my sketch. And then I had the light table under with the sketch, and I quickly traced this with waterproof pen so I can do my color tests directly on it. But that's the like only use I've had for this specific tiny light table so far. I could probably manage with just my other one that is thicker. Hey, you're welcome to. You never really know with all those LED powered things what will have a really strawby effect when it's on camera or not. Like it sort of doesn't show to the naked eye all that much, but things like Christmas lights that are LED powered and other lights, they can really have a quick strawby effect. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by, Cyan. Have a great evening. Alright, that looks kind of messy, but I think it's gonna be a bit better when I clean up the graphite and eventually paint it. Oreo is sleeping at the window. I need to trace out these sketches. I don't want to bug him, man. Do I spoil him? Aww. Kitties are meant to be spoiled, so all the more good reason for you to get a light pad. If you have a tablet of any kind, like an iPad or whatever, I think there's a way that you can use it as a light pad too. I'm not sure how people manage it exactly. I don't know if it's like opening up a drawing app and having just a white canvas and then boosting the brightness. I don't have a tablet, so I can't really say, but I've seen it used for that, so that can be an option if you have one of these, Ellen, and not a light pad. There's a, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but I don't know. I don't know that many watercolor people who also do like ink line work. But whenever I prepare a drawing like that, I often have to change the tape between the inking and the painting. Because even if the ink dries on the main everything, whenever I try to come in to erase my graphite, the ink that's on the tape will smudge, even if it looks dry. So a couple of times in the past I've had to, remove the tape and try to place new tape exactly in the same spot, which is, you know, not that hard to do, to be honest. And then paint that. So I will peel off this tape. Pretty sure I can reuse the blue tape I had, but this tape with the pen on it will have to go in. That's my thought. I've used my MacBook Pro's background as a solid white, but the size is limited to my screen size. Needed a bit larger. Well, I don't know. I don't know how you work, but if you tape the sketch to the paper, like you make them one thing together, you can move it around to trace too. That's what I will always do. I always tape the watercolor paper and the sketch paper together because some lines are easier to do at specific angles, so I like to be able to rotate my thing around. Just gotta be careful not to dent it by, you know, pressing it to the side of the light pad. I think that's mostly it for my whatever wisdom for today. I don't think I have any more tidbits. I'm full of ink. So unless you guys have specific questions, I think I might end the stream here and then go try to figure out the stupid laundry machine. Oh, that's a very good reason, Ellen. And I mean, it's gonna be useful. Like, it's not a thing you're gonna use once and never use again. So I think it's will you paint it next week? I might. No, I will probably paint it this week because it's related to a future video that I will try to record this week. But yeah, we'll see. I still need to draw something in this area here because I don't like having unused spaces in sketchbooks. I can give you a sneak peek of the one that I've done. How to do too. So this is the one that I did this week. So kind of a filler drawing there, and a little painting here with a sheet of tissue paper to prevent smudging. Oh, thank you so much, Ellen. I hope I win. I really hope I win. Oh. All right. I just love how you use it. Oh, thank you so much. I'm really doing my best to get work done in this one so that I can finish it and then do a sketchbook tour, because I quite enjoy these. So like it's not too bad. Like, I've made progress somewhat. Okay, nothing significant, but it's better than nothing. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for being here today. I will hopefully be able to stream next week, same place, same time. And until then, there is a book. No, that's just me. That's me. That's the thing. Anyway. Yeah, alright. See y'all next time. See y'all on Discord. And I hope you have a great week. And have some time for paint this week. Alright. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.